Hi, everybody. Welcome to CarolJo's. I am Carol, the owner and creator of everything you find on CarolJo's.com. Sorry I'm late, everybody. We went out to supper, and that made me late. So I am sorry. But we're waiting for TikTok, and I'm waiting for YouTube to let everybody know that I am live. So, there we go. All right. I'm going to go to my backup account so that you guys, I can see comments because I will be going down. So then I will need to see comments. I only have a backup account on TikTok. So once people come in, I will get going here. So if you're in, please say hi. Because right now, and I'm running late, so I apologize. So here on TikTok, I go live 6 days a week. I go live twice a week with bead sales, twice a week with tutorials, twice a week with chat times, once for a jewelry sale. Hi, Vaughn. How are you tonight? Tonight is tutorial. I go live 6 days a week, but I go 7 times over here on TikTok. On YouTube, I go live 4 days a week. Hi, Caitlin. And I go live with 2 tutorials and 2 chat nights. Tonight is a tutorial night. So this is where I will be teaching you guys how to make a wire bracelet. I am doing wonderful. I'm just running a little late. I got my sunglasses on. Sorry, I should probably take those off. Didn't even realize that. Let me see where I can put those for right now. There we go. Put them up there. I'm running late because we went out for supper. Oh, you're very welcome, Caitlin. And so I left my husband at the restaurant with family. They're going to bring him home. Oh, you're very welcome. Hi, Jackie. I was going to say, hi, Michelle. So what we're going to be doing tonight is called the wire bracelet. I was going to see, I don't even have a wire bracelet on, or else I would show you. A wire bracelet is using the wire, the crimp tubes, beads, and a toggle for the closure. Or you can use whatever type of closure you want. You could use a lobster clasp if you want. I just happen to always use a toggle when I do those. You get to design it however you like. The tools that you are going to need tonight to do this one will be your flush cutters. You will need a crimp plier. And then I always have on hand my flat nose or chain nose pliers in case, hi Joya, in case I need to have extra, little bit of extra to help move my wire. You will need a bead stopper. I'm like, dear Lord, what is this name? Thank you, Joya, for sharing out the live. I forgot to say, if you guys share the live 10 times over here on TikTok and get us to 10K on the likes, we'll do a jewelry or a bead soup giveaway. I'll let you guys pick. Well, you know what? You can learn how to make jewelry over here, Donut Bag, and have fun with it. Anybody can do it. There's different levels to it, and I'm showing the basics tonight. So let's have fun with that. So that's what we have for the tools that you're going to need. You also need a bead mat. Then you can pick out whatever kind of beads you want to use with it and whatever type of toggle. I have not picked out any beads because I was running late. So can you guys in the chat put colors? Hi, Jade. So go ahead and put colors, and I'm going to grab beads in those colors. So, yep, you got the Dr. Pepper blue. Okay, that's the first color I see. Oh, that would make it hard. Yes, I agree. Let's see what we have for blue gemstones. I haven't done a gemstone blue. Let's see. Ooh, I have 2 different sizes of this one. Are these the same? Yep, they are. Okay. I'm going to use, I have no idea what these are. I'm going to see if I can figure out what they are. Hold on. I'm going to look it up, the number. I got the number, but I didn't write what it was. So we're going to figure out what stone this is. Go, go, go. My internet is being, oh, I got to do cookies. I hate that they ask you all the time about cookies. All right, this one comes back as, that is not amethyst. Let's try this number. They're trying to tell me it's amethyst, and I'm like, yeah, nope, this is not amethyst. And this one says it's amethyst. They must have reused the number. It is not amethyst. I think it's going to look kind of cool. So we're going to put that up there for right now. And put that one in there. And then I'm going to grab some silver. No! Hi, Rose. And I am running late. So we went out, just to let y'all know, we went out for supper with my brother-in-law and his significant other. And we were sitting there having that, just talking away. And then I looked down and I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm late. So then I left them at the restaurant and I said, this really stinks because we were having a good time. So I'm gonna do a 3mm bead, I think, in between them. Okay, so when you do a wire bracelet using the wire, if it would have been a chat night, I think I would have canceled, but I didn't want to do that on a tutorial night. Oh, I was gonna say, I like chicken too, but I'm not a watermelon fan. So with the wire, you can get the wire here. I'm going to show you what it looks like. There you go. You can get the wire in different strands. And what I mean by strands, I do love you guys. The strands, the number of strands means how many strands are woven together. And the more strands, the more flexible it is. So you can do 7 strands. There's either 19 or 21, and then there's a 49. When you've got the 7 strand, it isn't as flexible, meaning it doesn't move as fluid. When you get to the 21, it is a lot more fluid than the 7. But the 49 is extremely fluid. So your piece will move when you're wearing it. And I don't mean it's going to move around. It just means that it's going to move to the shape. When you use the 7 strand, it's just going to hold a shape and it may not lay as nicely as like a 21 or a 49. I use 21 is what I use on a majority of all of my items. I love a 21 because it's not so thick, but it is, because when you get to the thicker ones, you can tell a difference in the number of strands by feeling it. So I use the 21 is what I prefer. But you guys use what you like and decide what you're wanting. With a 7, if you fold it up, and I mean by like if you would lay it wherever you're going to keep your jewelry and it kind of folds up in there, when you take it out, it might have a bend in it. And that bend will stay permanent. It won't go out. Whereas the 21 or the 49 would. So that's where it's your choice of which one you want to use. But that's the differences between the 7, the 21, and the 49. You will see that there is a 19 at some of the stores and stuff when you go to buy it. And so there is a 19 too. You can buy the wire on, you can buy it on Amazon. You can get it at any of the craft stores, that type of thing. I don't personally resell it because I have never known if you guys had a want for it. I actually bought literally these spools, just like you see here, from one of my suppliers. And it was 10 rolls of them like this. And I've had it for a while. I have never had to buy new wire for probably like 3 years now. So it has been a while since I bought it. And I couldn't even tell you how many meters are on here, but there's a lot. So if you want me to look, I can look. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. I know you guys are always like, ah, and I literally have never thought to look for that from my suppliers for you guys. That's my bad. The crimp tubes that we are going to be using tonight, I do not purchase those. The reason being is that when I have went to go and look at them, they are the same cost for me to order them than it would be to purchase them through like Amazon. So I don't do those. Oh, I haven't placed my last part of my order rows. So if you want to measure them and let me know. And I know I told you guys, I measured my bags. I told you the wrong size. The little itty bitty ones that, you know, I might put multiples of inside the bigger bag with the label on it. Those are 6 by 4 centimeters. 6 by 9 is the size with the sticker on it with a little bit of room around it. So that was my bad. I told you the wrong size. But with the crimp tubes here, these are 2 millimeter crimp tubes, and they are sterling silver. For crimp tubes, always, always, always buy sterling silver. That is the one thing I tell you guys. There's only a couple of things that I tell you don't scrimp on save the money. Crimp tubes is that. Do not buy the silver plated crimp tubes. They just do not hold the wire. When you've got the sterling silver, it hardens when you work with it, and it hardens around the wire and holds better. So always use sterling silver crimp tubes. I use crimp tubes. You can use crimp balls if you like, but I prefer, or crimp beads, I think there's what they're called. Not balls. They're circles, that's why I said balls, but they're crimp beads. I always use the crimp tubes. I always use 2 millimeter. I'm going to look and see if I can buy the wire. This is actually my last one of these, so I was going to have to buy some here in the future. But let me see what I can find, okay? Because I have not bought it in a couple of years. But the thing is, Joya, your fluffy fingers were just fine. I know what you meant. So those are my tips that I want to give you before we start the project tonight about what you're going to need. You're going to need beads. You're going to need crimp tubes and crimp wire for your supplies and a toggle. I use toggles. Other people, I'm trying to see what I got in my trays here. Nope, not that one. Other people might want to use a lobster clasp. It is your preference about what you want to use, but I use the toggles. I'm going to use this size. You want to have a, hi Valentina. When you're picking out the size of your toggle, there are many different sizes. So here we have what would be about a 15 millimeter in this container. This one is around a 9. Okay, I'm going to write that down, Rose. 75 by 50. Okay, I will see what I can find. So then there are also, let me see if I can find larger ones in this tray. I don't have a larger one in this tray. You can buy them bigger. You can buy them like at 25, which would be an inch. So the thing that you want to think about is that the size of your bead, you want your bead to be a little bit smaller than your hole for your toggle. And the reason being is that then you can bring the bead up through when you go to put it on and off. So you don't want to have a larger bead than the size of your toggle, but you also do not want to have a lot larger size of the toggle circle than your bead. So in the case tonight, we have an 8 millimeter and a 6 millimeter. So doing the 15 is about as big as I'm going to want to go. I don't want to use a 20 or a 25 on it, because what happens is that they will go through there, and then when you're just talking and stuff, they will fly off. Thank you, Skyfly, for the sub. I appreciate that. I am really trying to grow my YouTube here, so I appreciate everybody who subscribes to me. Or 3 by 12 inches. Okay. I got both of those down, Rose. So that is what I will say about for advice on your toggle size. So now I'm going to move some of the tools out of my way, and then I'm going to point you guys down so that you guys can see what we are doing here. Okay. Let me know if you, ooh, there we go. Hi, Evie. There you go. I think you both can see here. So what I have is I got my toggle. I'm going to pour out some of the beads onto my bead mat. I don't like that one. He's going in the garbage. These are gemstones, so sometimes they are not perfect. And that's just what happens when you have gemstones. So I've got the 8mm, 6mm, and then I have 3mm size beads here for spacers in between. Wire. You are going to make the bracelet about a 1/2 inch smaller than what you wear, because your toggle will give you about that 1/2 inch that you want. So if you're someone that the inside diameter is a 7.5, you're going to want to make it so that the diameter is 7 inches. You're going to take a little bit off for your toggle. I just happen to make mine for different sizes for different people when I go to resell. So, but you don't want to cut your wire at that 7 inches. You want to have probably 2 inches on each side of that so that you can close your bracelet up. I'm just going to go ahead for tonight for our demonstration. I'm just going to cut off a 12-inch piece of the wire. The reason why I'm giving you info on how much is that so you don't like overcut the wire and then you have it like really long and you've wasted some, but you don't want it too short and not have enough. So I'm going to just bead these on. So I'm going to go with my 3mm, the 6mm gemstone. And then I'm just making a simple one with the blue. And we're just going to make a really simple patterned bracelet tonight for this one. We'll do another one. I'll do 2 examples tonight. And these are almost like nuggety, not complete circles, both of them in the size. So it gives it an added texture to the bead. They're kind of cool. Oh, thank you, Evie. We're here just to be a really positive community to teach people how to make jewelry, sell the items to make jewelry. I do that only on TikTok. And I sell jewelry on TikTok and Facebook. And we have chat times where we can talk about making jewelry, running a small business. That bead is defunct. Or just whatever we want to talk about with the jewelry business or jewelry in mind. We just love talking about jewelry. There we go. He was being a little stubborn one. So let's see. I was going to say TikTok, you guys can tap, tap, tap away and we'll do the bead soup and or jewelry giveaway once we get to 10K. We got to our share goal. Now we just need to get to our like goal. Let's do this one. These are kind of like, if you guys could see all the textures here, I'm going to hold it up once I get to the length. I think that's so true. When we have chat nights, we can talk about just about anything. And I loved going on last night with Zulie's live. She was asking me a couple of questions about, Yes, I am using wire tonight. It is bead wire. This one is 19 strands, is how many strands it is. I can't tell you the diameter of the bead wire because mine does not have a label on it. But last night when we went on Zulie's live on TikTok, just being able to talk about and give input to each other, I love that about our community here. It's that we just share our knowledge. All right, we're going to put this one on. Then we're going to see how long this one is right now. Let's see. He's about a 7 1/4. I want to make this a little bit bigger for someone who has a bigger wrist than me, because not everybody has my size wrist. And that's the thing, is that if you guys are making jewelry, and I shouldn't say guys, if anyone is making jewelry to sell, you will have different sizes because people have different size wrists. Yes, Zulie is really, really, really sweet. Thank you. Is it Bryn? Sorry, I have you pointed down so I can't see the comments all the time. So thank you. So here is the beads. I'm showing TikTok here. I will show you over here on YouTube. Jeez, I don't even have Facebook up today. But it looks like they're circles, but if you see them in person, they all are just a little bit different shape. They're not nuggets, they're not perfectly round, but it is really cool texture. So yeah, I'm loving this one. This one to me would go with blue jeans. That's why I think I like it. It's just a simple everyday bracelet. All right, now I'm going to get into how you put your closure onto the wire. So we will need Joya says, hi, YouTubers. This is the 2mm crimp tube. It's kind of blurry, sorry. And then what you do is you put, and I am going to put you guys back up for a second because I think it'll be easier if I do it this way. So I'm bringing you back up so that I can get you guys in there and it's not so blurry. When I go down, it's kind of hard to show things up close because it gets blurry. All right, so I have my piece of wire here. I'm going to take my crimp tube and put my crimp tube on my wire. I'm not going to go all the way down to my bead here. I want to leave some space here. So just part way up, put your crimp tube. Do half of your toggle. There is a little hole here on your toggle. We're going to put our wire through that hole. I got to move it away to the right eye spot. There we go. Like that. So we have crimp tube, toggle. Crimp tube, toggle. Go over the top of your toggle and bring that wire back around. You see how we're going back around? And we are going to put it through that crimp tube the opposite way that we just went. So it'll look like that. And then here's the wire. So there it is. Now, you want to make sure that you've got your wire. So like the one that went over the top, make sure it's on the top. The one that's on the bottom needs to be on the bottom. Okay. Now, do you see how I don't have a lot of space in between the crimp tube and my toggle here? That's a good part. It wiggles, but I don't have so much space there that it's extra long. You want it to wiggle because if it doesn't wiggle, it will cut through the wire as you're wearing it and you won't get to wear it as long because it'll break. If you have a lot of space in between, it's going to add length to your bracelet and it's not going to be decoratively appealing because you're going to have a big piece of wire with a loop there and you just don't want to see that. So you want to have it something like this. Now, I'm going to show you guys crimp pliers. I'm going to show TikTok first. At the tip of there are two holes. One looks like an upside down moon or piece of macaroni, and the other one is an oval. Here you go on YouTube. You see where there's the two holes, where the one that looks like an upside down piece of macaroni or moon, and the other one's an oval. You go into the back one, the one that looked like a macaroni first, and then do the one closest to the tip second. Jade over here is giving us a music lesson. She said, stuck a feather in his hat and called it macaroni. So you're going to take your crimp tube pliers and come up so that you can get it in that back hole and cover up your crimp tube. So do you see how my crimp tube is in between my pliers here? And it's in that back hole. See how it's there? It's in the back hole. That's the way you want it. You want it so that you don't see your crimp tube. It should be covered up with your crimp pliers. Then just gently push it down. And that's gonna, I call this the open hot dog bun. So if you see it, you'd have the wires are on each part of it. And there, I'm gonna show you here. See how the wires are on each part? And you've got an open hot dog bun. Turn that open hot dog bun away from you and come in from the side this time. Let me get this lined up right. There we go. Like that. You see how I'm in the first hole here? I'm in that first hole. And I am just going to squeeze. I want to make sure I'm not sideways. Here, hold on. I was not sideways in there. I was upside down. That would give me a wrong thing. There we go. So it's like that. And now just squeeze those two sides together. And I moved. There we go. So now my two sides are squeezed together. And it is a small little crimp tube. I use my thumbnail and I try getting that to move to make sure it's stuck. And literally I just take my thumbnail and try to move it. It's not moving. We're good. Take the two wires together and use the beads and string them back through this to cover up that piece of wire. Oh, hi, Andy. You came to a spot where we will teach you how to do all different things, and we start out with the basics. This, Andy, is the basic for using for the wire. So there, you covered up your wire here. So if I move that down, you'll see there's the wire, and I've got it all covered up. Now, turn this way, and see how now all of our space is at the top. Take off your bead stopper. Take your crimp tube again, that 2mm sterling silver crimp tube, put it on the wire. You can put it all the way down to the bead this time. The second time we go to the bead, because we wanted to leave some room so we could get this on here. If we did it really tight at the other end, this would be a pain to get on. So I'm going to use my thumbnail and hold my crimp tube, and I use my index finger, and then I take that wire and go back around, just like we did on the other end. But this time we have to go through the crimp tube, and we're going to have to go through a couple of beads. Okay. Yep, there's lots of things that, Andy, you can learn here. So now, if you notice, I have a little bit of room here between this, and I want to get rid of that. See how I have all that extra? I don't want to leave that there. I hold down, and I'm going to use my pliers. I'm going to pull this down. So there we go. Now, do you see how we don't have very much in there? But if I hold it sideways, it wiggles, and that's what we want. Now we're going to grab our crimp pliers and once again come up in that back hole. There we go. In the bottom one. And we are going to crimp it together. So then we have our hot dog bun look. Who thought we would hear about food making jewelry? I'm trying to get that to flip around that way. There you go. You can see where it's open. And now we're going to take that and push those two sides together like this. Now, last step of making the bracelet, we grab our flush cutters. I bring my bead down and I bring in my flush cutters right along the bead that's at the bottom and just get in to get the one piece of wire right there and then just cut it off. You cut off that extra piece of wire that you don't need and throw it away. And it's going to be too big for me. But that is the bracelet. So, yep. I made it for someone else. I didn't make this for me. I made this to sell. But man, I really do like this color because it goes with like what I'm wearing now. It would go with blue jeans. It's a very casual bracelet and I'm loving it. So yeah, that was pretty daggone cool. And the thing is that we all have different size wrists. And so we seriously need to make things that are not specific for it. Now you want McDonald's? Where did that come from, Miss Jade? I'm like, it's a casual bead bracelet. We talked about macaroni and hot dogs. I'm like, where's the correlation to McDonald's? Sorry, I needed a drink of my Dr. Pepper. I know I'm not big enough to have a sponsorship of any kind, but man sakes, I think Dr. Pepper should sponsor me because I drink it every time I'm on the live. All right. Oh, the nuggets. There you go. Because I did say nuggets earlier. So let me see. I know, Joya, you gave me colors. There was coral and green. Okay, thank you, Juana, for letting me know. Was there another color in there, Joya? Hey, there you go. We have Dr. Pepper over here on YouTube. Light green. Okay, light green and coral. All right, let's see what I can find now. I got to put these two away, though. The other night I made something with the black beads. Excuse me. I did not put the black beads away after we got done to live, and they're still on my table. I try so hard to put away as I go, and I didn't that night. And I need to. All right. Ooh. All right, the coral. I got to see if I can reach them. This is where my coral is more so in... Ow. Let's see if I can get it. Okay. Sorry, guys. You got to see my big booty. Okay, this is a glass bead. It's not the pinky coral. It's more of an orangey coral. And that turned out really orange on there. It's not that orange in person. So I have that in this tray, or, ooh, I like those. I think I'm going to go with that one. You guys are going to laugh. This is the pair of jeans my sister gave me because her booty is too small for the pair of jeans. I got a booty, so they work for me. So we joke around that I got the booty and she didn't. Ooh. Okay. I got these two colors, Joya. I'm thinking I like these two together. I like that. Ooh. And I don't have very many of that coiny looking one. So we're going to do those two. I'm going to point you guys down for this. I'm loving these two colors together. Down you guys go. I need to get a spacer bead to put in between. And this one, I don't know that I want to use just a silver plated 3mm that I've been using here. So hold on, I'm gonna grab a different spacer, but I gotta see what I can find. I got some on the table here. Ooh, I wonder what this will look like. A piece of hair. I think I'm gonna try this one. All right, we're gonna try this metal bead. It's a Tibetan bead. That's what we're gonna try. I don't have pearl. I don't sell those, but I do. Yeah, I love my 3mm spacers, but I just thought something different here. So once again, we're gonna use the wire and we're gonna cut off about 12 inches. When you're starting to do this, you want to be longer than shorter. Okay, so I got 12 inches. I'm going to put my bead stopper on there. I will put a 3mm. What size is what? Crafty. I'm going to put a 3mm on the end because if your hole is a little bit bigger on your last bead, let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. Then your crimp tube, it will go over your crimp tube and move your beads around and it won't look the wire itself. I don't have it labeled on here, but I'm thinking it's about a 0.8mm. I'm going to decide here in a second if I like this without. Nope, it needs it. Hold on. We're going to back up for a second. I am going to use some 3mm, but I'll show you why. I'm going to have the silver bead, and then I'm going to do a 3mm. Then I'm going to do the blue or the green glass, 3mm. Then our Tibetan silver, 3mm, and then the corally orange. Yeah. I'll show you what it looks like. So that is what our pattern is going to be. We're just going to repeat that pattern over and over. You don't have to do that 3mm, but it just looks too crowded for my personal preference. And that's why I decided to add that 3mm. You could do like a clear glass instead of the 3mm. You could do we're going to have some 3mm that are 3x2mm size rondelles coming up when I get my orders that I'm just placing in. We will have 4x3mm rondelles. You could add those instead of the silver, and it would add some great dimension to a bracelet. So you can really use all different kinds of beads to create that space in between them so it breaks your eye up, instead of them being all blended together. Oh, I gotta back up. I missed my silver here. So glad I noticed it now before I got completely done and then crimped it. Because then you feel like you wasted the crimp tubes and the wire, because the wire is too small after you crimp both sides to reuse. Okay, let's see how long this one is. This one's only 6, so I gotta do one more of the pattern. Okay. So this one's gonna, right now is 7.5. So this one will be a little bit longer. So that is the pattern that we did. Yep, it is kind of small, Andy, but that is what I prefer for when I do my, when I use the wire. Oops, I put that one back in the wrong tray. He's going here. Okay, now we're gonna get 2 crimp tubes out of the baggie. And I really wished when I went to that store in, it was in Gilbert, I believe, Gilbert, Arizona, and it's called Mitch's Beads, M-I-T-C-H. They had the crimp tubes at lower than I can get them on Amazon. So I bought a whole bunch for myself. I bought like 3 bags of these, but I wish I would have bought more so that I could have like sold them to you guys. All right, we're putting our crimp tube on. I did not get out my toggle yet, so I got to get my toggle. Got to find my toggles. They're down here. I am going to use, oh, that is, and the reason why I do not like using lobster clasps on bracelets as much is because they are harder to get on and off one-handed. I have been able to do it, but like a lot of other people can't. And what happens then is people don't buy them. So if you're using it to sell, nope, that's too dark. You want to make it so it's easy for them to have it go on and off. Oh, I wonder what this one will look like on there. Okay, I'm trying to find a, nope, that one's too dark of a metal compared to the others. How about this one? And sometimes I just lay it next to my beads. Hey, that one goes better. I'm going to use this one. This one here is just a heart. So we're going to use that one. So once again, I have my crimp tube here. Half of my toggle. Put that on. Go over the top, just like this. I'm going to move you guys up so I don't feel like I literally have to sit here and like move down to get this in there. Sorry, we're going up and down. This is what the crimp tube looks like, Andy. And then we have our toggle. And we're going to go over the top and back through the crimp tube the opposite way. So we are going to go through that crimp tube. See if you guys can see it there. This way. So do you see how you have this here? So there we are. Now we're going to grab our crimp pliers. And we are going to use that back hole. Like this. We got it covered up. And I'm just going to smush it together. And that is, I'm trying to get you guys to see the open part. There you are. And there it is. Then you're going to take and go together on the top and smush it together. So it'll look like that. And I do have a tutorial recorded on YouTube that is different so that you can see down how to do this. So if you guys are wanting to know more details of how to get that crimp wire on there and this way isn't working for you, go over to YouTube and watch it. So we are covering up our wire with the beads and letting them fall down now. And then we're grabbing our other crimp tube, and that's the crimp tube. He's just a little itty bitty crimp tube. Hi, besties forever. Put your crimp tube on and roll it, or push it down to the beads. Take your toggle, put that on. Come over the top of your toggle. See how I'm over the top? And go back through your crimp tubes and a couple of the beads. So through your crimp tubes, and my fingers are in the way. So through the crimp tube and through a couple of the beads. And I have to do this at a certain, there we go. We got it. See how it's coming through here? There, you can see that here. Here's our end, and we're going to go through there. Hi, CJJ. Hold down your beads with your fingernail. You can sometimes just grab a hold of this end and pull, and it'll go. Sometimes it'll be a little tight. If it's a little tight, use your needle nose pliers or chain nose pliers and just pull it down. And see, I'm going to show you guys. See, I got a little space in between the beads and such. I don't want that space there. You take your thumb and push that crimp down, that crimp tube. Grab your pliers and then pull on that. I'm usually not holding it up in the air. I normally have this laying down on my table. And then I lay it down and use my fingernails to hold it in place and pull. Now, I pulled this tight for a reason. Do you see how this doesn't wiggle very well? See how that one just doesn't wiggle very well? You do not want it that tight. Because if you notice, he's right up against my crimp tube and the wire. This will wear out and it will break earlier than you want it to. So just move your crimp tube ever so gently like that and get it so that you have wiggle room. And then use your... Sorry. Sorry, everybody. You guys got to hear it. And there we go. Sorry. We're having a test. They were doing a test of the phone system. So you guys got frozen because it was going through a test. We're all okay here. Kind of freaked you out, but it said, do not call 911. This is a test. So we're okay. But I froze because of that. I didn't know we were going to do a test tonight. We're hitting in South Dakota. We're getting close to having the tornado season. And so we've been doing tests all the last 2 weeks in all the different systems. Because we want to be safe. All right. So I did crimp that and then cut that wire off. You haven't? Oh, Lord. So, like, we have tornado warnings here. So if, like, the tornadoes are coming, there's sirens outside, your phones go off, and they notify you. And I don't know why it looks like I have a black eye there, but I really don't. And they will do the sirens for you to go take cover. So, yeah. So we have them all. I mean, we will have... Like when the tornado went through our front lawn, that was in September. So from like, and we actually did have a place where we were supposed to take cover. I don't know if it was this Saturday or the Saturday before. So yeah, and they will do them the first Friday of every month at 11 a.m. is normally when they do it. So yeah, so we get those all the time. Yep, we get the Amber Alerts for missing kids too, and we get the tornado siren warnings. So here is that bracelet. Let me see if I can get it to focus. I'm loving that one too. Okay, so there's that one. So those are the two that we made tonight. I made these on the larger size. Oh, geez. I've never thought about that. So those are both of the bracelets we made tonight. Andy, Andy's asking, how do you keep it from breaking at all? At some point, wire bracelets and the stretchy, they do break. They're not indestructible for years on end. But if you make them like I've shown you here tonight, they will last a few years. I've had some last... I actually had a stretchy that it was made the first or second year that I do jewelry. I don't wear it every day. And it actually broke about 2 weeks ago. And I've been making jewelry since 2005. So to me, that was like, whoo. But the wires, sometimes they will stretch. Sometimes, you just need to watch them. Watch when you make them if you're creating it and you're wearing it, where if it's wearing too close to your wires, and just watch it. You'll see it. Oh, hey, we hit our 10K over on TikTok. Let me get you guys your gifts here. So yeah, so that's how you do it. And so, oh, you've never seen one? Oh yeah, I went through one. I mean, I didn't watch it. So what happened is that it will be, I got to think about it. I'm trying to think. Was it 3 years ago in September or 2 years ago in September? It went through our front lawn. It didn't harm our house. It didn't take out one of our outbuildings that it jumped over, but it took out a lot of trees. Yeah, you're like me, so I won't be able to, but I'm like, I think Joya's trying to claim this one. So yeah. All right. Yep, I have never been through an earthquake. We've had them here, but I just never felt them. But it is what it is. I was going to say, anybody who has a larger wrist than me, you're lucky, because a lot of bracelets don't fit me. So, yes. And I was going to say, I'm going to do both TikTok and YouTube for our giveaway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a number in the game over here. So just give me a second. It is a number between 1 and 50. Both of you can do it. You both social media. So if you're on here on YouTube, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'm watching both to see which one will get it first, okay? So I am watching. It's a number between 1 and 50. Okay, I'm finally seeing over here where we're getting guesses. We still haven't gotten either one. Oh, we got it over here on YouTube. YouTube got it. I'm going to reveal here. Vaughn, you got it. It is 29. And Danielle, you got it, but TikTok got it first. So congratulations. And I've got your information, correct? I was thinking, because you're sometimes over on TikTok too. I just want to make sure so that I know where to mail it to. Yep. Okay, good. All right. Holy buckets. You slept through one. Okay, you get to choose. Let's pick out something here. Okay, so we got that. You get to choose between jewelry or bead soup. Oh, you're very welcome. Oh, that's cool, Danielle. I love it. You can do the black onyx pendant here on the chain. This is a 23-inch chain, so the necklace. Or you can do bead soup. So just do necklace or bead soup in the chat for me. Yes, I think, yeah, there is a little bit of a delay on YouTube. So for them to get it in first, that was awesome. The necklace. All right. I've got that for you. And I will send that out probably at the end of the month is when I do them. If I don't have a purchase with you, I will send them out at the end of the month. Okay? All right. So we have the two bracelets here that we made tonight. I'm so excited. I think both of them turned out kind of cool. And then we have tomorrow night, we have chat time. Okay, thank you. So we are going to do chat time at 8 p.m. Central. Promise I won't be late this time because I don't have plans to go out to supper. It wasn't in my literally last minute. My husband's like, we're going. So we will have chat time both on YouTube and TikTok. So come back, join me 8 p.m. Central, and we will do that tomorrow night. Friday at 3:30, I'm going to do jewelry sale on TikTok and Facebook group. I do love you guys. I just literally was talking with family and lost track of time. That's what happened. And then Friday at 7 p.m., TikTok only will be bead sale. So those are what we have coming up, everybody. You guys all have a great night. Bye.